Hello, my darlings, and welcome. Today we are going to be attempting something that I will probably regret. I'm going to be attempting to make the Decades of Style TLC Caftan in one day. It is 9:25 a.m. my time here in Reno. I have ironed out my fabric, I have ironed out my pattern, and I am ready to start cutting. Let's get sewing. Big regrets. First things first, we are going to cut out this caftan. This caftan is actually mostly geometric shapes. My friend Chrissy actually, when I made my first version of this caftan, because this is my second version, she was like, oh, just measure it out because they're just rectangles and then just cut it out that way and then lay the pattern on after the fact to cut the notches. And that was actually a really good way to do this. It made everything a lot easier and it really did help keep everything on grain. So I'm actually going to do the same thing since I'm working in linen and it's a washed linen. Even though it's a really, really nice linen, linen is still wibbly wobbly. It does this. I am going to measure everything out in rectangles and then I'm going to pull threads and cut. We are going to start with the skirts and I need to cut 2. So now it's time to start measuring. This is the problem with modern linen. So everyone goes, oh, linen, meh, it's so wrinkly, it's so wobbly, you look at it funny and it has a wrinkle in it. It's like, yeah, it does. You wanna know why? Because they don't weave linen on linen looms anymore. They weave linen on cotton. So you have this beautiful long staple. If you go and you buy an antique linen tablecloth, it's just stunning. It's gorgeous. You look at antique linen clothing, stunning, gorgeous. And then you look at our modern linens and you go, what happened? Well, modern manufacturing happened. This linen, especially since it's so thin, which will be super comfortable to wear, and it's a beautiful linen, I can't pull more than like a bit at a time, so this is taking even longer than what it should because the staple itself is so oof. But at least this way, it's a stripe. So I'm just gonna follow the stripe when I cut up the lengthways. It's cutting across here that is taking so long, and quite genuinely it's actually easier for me at this point to just look at the threads and cut as I go very, very slowly, because trying to pull this is a total pain in my backside right now. I'm still doing it because I'm stupid and stubborn, but you know, I can regret it. And this is why you never start at the top of a cut. You always give yourself some room. And wow, did I cut that close. First panel, it's at least cut. Should technically be on the straight grain. Now I get to do it again. Well, this is my second time having this moment with you all because I forgot to turn my mic on. I've gotten everything cut out. It is now 12:47 and it's now time to actually get sewing. My back hurts, my knees hurt, I feel like my body's falling apart, and I haven't even started sewing yet. 3 hours in, way behind schedule. Not going the way I thought it would go, but it's a fun time, guys. Having a blast. Alright, so I've gotten all of the gathering stitches for the bodice, the stay stitching done, the darts are done. Now I am pinning the shoulder seam together for the fronts and the backs, and I've lined up the notches together, and now I am gathering up the front to kind of ease that in. It's not a very big gather, it's just kind of just enough to give it some drape over the front of the body. I do like the instructions for how to do this because Janet reminds you to mark further in than the actual edge of the seam. So she says, you know, you need to mark 3/4 of an inch in before you do the gather, so you're leaving room to actually sew a seam. And I really appreciate that because that's absolutely something I would totally forget to do. Just gathering these babies up, just making the mark. I'm not terribly concerned about keeping these even. You don't really notice them. They just kind of end up disappearing into the shoulder seam anyway. So just pinning it down all nice and secure. There are like 2 things I really don't like doing in this pattern, and one of them I just got finished. I've just gotten the neck edging binding stitched on, pressed. It looks really, really good and top stitched, so I am actually very happy about that because what this also means is that I can move on from this, start working on actually putting the rest of my caftan together. Aha! I've done that. Yay. Now I get to attach the waistband. Woohoo! Where did I put him? Here we go. Peeky. It is 2:59. I officially have to go take a break and walk the dogs. And I have the bodice part of my caftan done. The waistbands are put on both of the front and the back, so we're ready to go there. The next step is the skirts. Pockets in the sides and the wacky armholes that are really cool, but a total pain in the tuchus to do. The fiddly smallest bit, it's completely finished. Now it's time to go walk the dogs. Woo! Walk is over. It is 4:10 in the afternoon and it is officially time to start on the skirts of this caftan. I need to still mark all the notches on them, so that's what I'm gonna do before I start the sewing stuff. The front skirt panel on. This is gonna be cool. Probably could have made it a little bit longer. It's right at my ankle, which is not quite where I wanted it. It's gonna definitely be cool and comfortable though. Sweet. Alright. On to the back. It is 5:30 p.m. I have marked all the side bits. I have marked my armholes, Now I get to have the fun game of putting in the armholes. This is fiddly. Oh, I need to cut those little, I wonder. Scrap on the floor. It's valid. Yes. So I need a 1 inch by 1 inch piece of interfacing, and amazingly, this strip is 1 inch wide and 2 inches long. So it's just perfect. And yes, I found it on my floor. But it was from the last time I made one of these, which was last weekend. That worked out. Didn't have to cut anything new. Didn't waste anything. Because these pieces are so big, these side pieces, I've made one, I've done the arm slit, and now I'm going to attach it to the rest of the caftan, so that way I don't have to do it twice, and it should hopefully make my life a little bit easier. Plus, it's like, once you get the armhole in, it's kind of like, woo, easy peasy. Tricking myself into thinking I'm actually a lot closer to being done than what I actually am. Time check. It is 6:54 p.m. I just finished wolfing down my dinner, and now I feel very full and slow. I've gotten one side panel completely pinned on, so now I'm going to stitch it just all in one go. Then I'm going to repeat what I just did for the other side, and then all that's left after that is doing the interior waistband and the elastic and the hem. It's 7 o'clock, and I don't know if I can get this done in 2 hours, but I guess I'm going to try. Yeah. Haha. I'm gonna look like a giant beach towel. I'm really, really, really happy with how I'm covered in thread. How this is coming together. This is looking really, really nice. Much easier fabric to work with than the first one I made. Finishes on the inside are much cleaner, much more professional looking, which is important to me. I do, especially with modern sewing. How do I describe this? I wish to pursue the illusion of professional quality. The way the garment hangs, the way it's constructed, something that a non-maker would never think that it was made. Obviously, when you're a maker, you know that homemade things are usually much better made than non-homemade things. But for a muggle, if you will, I always like the idea that it would look as if it's professionally made, and that they would assume that it was professionally made and not made by me. Next side. We're almost there, guys. (8:19 p.m.) Both side panels are on, serged together, seamed, and pressed. I literally have 2.5 more steps to do. One of them being hemming the thing. I think I might do it, guys. Whew. My back is killing me, and I need a nap, but I'm getting there. So the last real construction step is doing the inserts in the inside, and then adding the elastic. I put way too much elastic in my other one. It doesn't need to be that long. So. 8:48, still hand basting. Ta-da! I'm not actually quite done, but I just did the fitting for the elastics that are inside here, and I just decided to leave it on for this last bit because why not? Yay, it's done. I feel like a flying squirrel, a bit like a Jedi, a bit like I'm wearing a kimono. So it's like a flying Jedi squirrel flying thing, but it's cool. Look, I really like the cut of these things because I find that the contrasting waistband is actually really flattering because it makes my waist look super tiny. I should put pockets in this. I can just put like snacks. I can put little pockets and just hide stuff in here. Ooh. What if you did a winter caftan and you lined it and then you put pockets inside your bits? Oh, that would be cool. Oh, I might do that. I have like 2 more things left to do tonight. I have just one thing and I'm gonna hem it tomorrow. All in all, I'm gonna call this a win. I could hem it tonight if I want to, but I don't. I prefer to sew in daylight. It is 9:14. Let's call it 9:30 once I get this off and this stitched. That is exactly 12 hours from when I started to where I am right now, including a 1-hour dog walk, dinner, lunch, and some bathroom breaks. I consider that a huge win, especially since cutting this thing out took part. If you're looking for a really cool, comfortable summer, I just keep seeing myself in the viewfinder and I'm like, I'm a bat! Cat! That's not what bats sound like, but you guys get it. Like this is, I am, yeah, looking for a make that you can hypothetically do under 12 hours. I think the Decades of Style TLC Caftan is an excellent choice. I will also absolutely say this is the second one I've made, so I was able to move through some steps really quickly because I didn't need to read and like comprehend. I was just able to be like, oh yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind. The first one took me a lot longer than this one. I also was dealing with much better fabric and this linen than my first one as well. Y'all, look at it. I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying. I'm king of the world. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope that you found this process interesting. I know there wasn't a lot going on other than just hyper focus and making to see if I could actually make it in the time that I had allotted myself. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good time. If you like hanging out with me here, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see more of stuff like this, leave a comment below. Let me know. Completely entertained by this. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Wow, does my back hurt. I shouldn't wear this in front of a mirror. I'm gonna go. I'll see you all next time.